Hello, this is Dr. P. Mark Taylor, and yes, my home office is now pink. It's not my fault. I live with girls. Anyway, so let me say that you're doing great so far, and I just want to uh, point out that to finish up 637, there are a couple of things that you're working on that you know very well, and those things are the paper and the presentation. Now, the paper is still group work. You're writing a manuscript. You are writing, aiming for that publication that you chose, that journal, which means what you write should not look like a graduate school paper. It should not be a lit review in APA. It should look like any other article that's in that journal. So make sure you're matching the format. Usually, you're pretty much you picked practitioner journals, and that means they usually have 3 references, 10 tops, but that's rare. It's usually 3 or 4, maybe 5, and a lot of those examples that we talked about in my comments on your papers that help people understand those ideas that you're sharing. So that paper, again, is a joint effort. It is group work. On the other hand, whenever you have group work, you need to have some individual accountability so that one person doesn't do all the work and the other person has no clue what's going on, and having that be horribly unfair. So the presentation, which also carries quite a bit of weight, is the individual accountability. This is one person presenting to other folks, people who would be interested in your topic. You've picked your audience. The presentation doesn't have to be incredibly long. It just has to be informative. And does the presentation have to match the paper? No, not if your audience is slightly different. You need to get your ideas across. That's the goal, is for the people in the room to understand and maybe change something. So just think of it in a practical sense, not a graduate school thing, but a professional sharing about what you've learned and what you want them to learn. And the videos are often far too big to upload. So when you turn in the video, turn in a link to the video. Now, you can post it on YouTube if you so desire. You can make that private, and or you can upload it to a cloud app like iCloud or Google Drive or Dropbox. And if you do one of those cloud apps, all you have to do is leave it in your thing, and there's a way in each one of those to create a link for an invited person to take a look at your presentation. So we don't have to download it. We can watch it right from your cloud, and we don't have access to the rest of your files, just that one file that you've given us a link for. So that's the most efficient way to turn it in. So when you turn in your video, what you're doing is giving us a link so that we can go watch your video on YouTube or in your cloud, where we have limited access to just that video. What should the video look like? Don't need to see your face. Don't need to see the audience. I need to see the slides, and it needs to be a live video, not with voice recorded and put into a PowerPoint presentation. You're live presenting, and you can point the camera at the wall where your slides are showing for the audience. All I have to do is be able to hear the voices of both you and the people asking questions live in your audience. So this is not a great big production. You can just set the video up, point it at the screen, make sure your audio is on, and just talk to your colleagues about what you learned. And that's what it should feel like. It should not feel like a graduate school presentation. It should feel like you communicating what you've learned and trying to get other people on board with whatever idea it is. So in both cases, both the paper and the presentation, it's just about sharing and about convincing somebody that this idea that you've researched is a good one, and you're presenting it in such a way that it's real and tangible and something that they could probably implement. So keep it simple, keep it connectable, and just do your best. That's all this class is about, is you learning more and getting in the habit of sharing through writing and through presenting, because that's what we do in the educational community to move forward. We share with each other, and there's a few things like APA and all that we learn along the way to more effectively share, but this class is more about the ideas and just getting used to sharing. So like I said, don't make it sound like a graduate school thing. Make it sound like professional learning and sharing. I think I've said that like 12 times now, so that's plenty. All right. Text me if you have any questions. First time you text me, make sure you include your name so I have a clue who you are. And God bless you and have a great day.